I always say that the years 22 and 23 were the most difficult years of my life so far. I hope it's going to stay like that. Because when I found this land, and 21, we were still in pandemic kind of mode, so
Yeah.
the idea of people going outside and living in nature was very strong, and people were confronting the government, which we're actually seeing coming back now. But in 22, and when this experiment, or whatever people want to call it, as pandemic was kind of officially over, and people got back to traveling. And for me personally, I always like to think and to reflect on large concepts and ideas. And for me, that was a huge social experiment that happened when the moment governments allowed people to travel, people immediately forgot the horror of last 2 years. And people immediately started, and we haven't even realized how the agenda of going back to normality was pushed on us, and everybody started like we're trying to kind of forget everything and start living as normal. And I honestly see that a pandemic in a sense was kind of collapse of our civilization as we know it, and nothing is going since normal. There is nothing normal in that. The way how like all businesses started to operate, everything, right? It broke so many social constructs. It broke not just businesses and economies, it broke the way we relate to each other.
Right.
You remember these crazy times when people
Yeah.
were like not meeting each other in the family if you're vaccinated or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
And when people were putting in dating profiles that they're vaccinated, and like, they were not meeting.
Yeah.
The craziness of this thought, how governments in a second divided us, how they brought
Yeah.
this kind of separation, we kind of forgot in 22. And I was full on in the project already from from middle of 21. So I was doing a lot of, at that time I decided that I'm going to sell. I was doing a lot of stock investment. And so like I decided I'm going to sell my crypto and my positions and my shares and everything and my real estate. And I'm going to go full in creating this project, the ARC. And then 22, the market crashed. The real estate market crashed. People started traveling and wanted to get back to the cities and to forget about everything as a bad dream.
Yeah.
And the market was very low, 22, 23. And for me personally, it felt like if I committed a huge mistake. And like, now looking back, of course, I'm like, oh, so great that I persevered. In the moment, it was cringing in my bed, and being terrified of the fear of like, what have I done? Like,
Right.
what have I done again with my life? I was just like, I was living a happy life without any problems, and why the heck I had to go to Costa Rica and to
Yeah.
and it's not that like oh, everything is flowing so easy. No, Costa Rica challenges you a lot. It's a very challenging environment. It's a very challenging country. Like, people love the idea of coming here for like 1 week vacation, relocating and doing business in the country that you don't know, with a mentality that you yet don't understand at that time, with very few supporters back then. And we honestly, we had zero sales in the years 22 and 23, zero. So I had to invest everything that I had and to drag the operations through my own funding. I had also a business partner. We separated at the beginning of 23 because it was challenging, and totally understandable. We maintained the friendship and all was great. But there were moments, when you're like facing the collapse after collapse after collapse, and it was not pleasant at all. Zero.